During this public health emergency, our office is battling scam artists, price gougers, and those businesses that aren't essential that nonetheless continue to operate. We're also leading on a number of other fronts, including drafting extremely rapidly ordinances and emergency orders designed to combat the coronavirus and also its implications. Today, I want to focus on a particular issue. I want to protect a very anxious public against the schemes that might involve COVID-19 related test kits, home test kits. I want to be very clear. In this crisis, Angelenos depend on having accurate, clear, reliable information and legitimate products that can actually help all of us. And let's be clear. The FDA has not approved any home test kit. The FDA has not approved any test kit that can be used at home to detect the COVID-19 virus. Now, according to published reports, accurate testing for this virus involves several crucial steps. It involves carefully swabbing the nose or throat to collect a sample, placing it in a sterile tube, storing it below 46 degrees Fahrenheit, and shipping it to a lab within 3 days. Health officials warned that a number of things could easily go wrong if consumers fail to take any of these steps with precision. Now, the FDA is communicating with a number of companies who are working on home test kits, but those companies are going to have to show the FDA that the results of those tests are comparable to tests that are administered by health care professionals. And here's a real issue that is very important for all our consumers. If consumers have a home test kit that hasn't been approved by the FDA and is not likely to work properly, they may not get reliable results, and they may unknowingly expose others to this virus. So today, it's very important for the public to know that we are focused on this issue, and I announce a swift settlement that we achieved to stop the sale and marketing of a COVID-19 home test kit. It's a settlement with a company called Econ Genomics. Econ Genomics is the defendant in a case. They signed a stipulated judgment with us, and that judgment imposes an injunction that immediately ceases all marketing and sales of its COVID-19 home test kit. This also requires full restitution to the company's customers, anybody who may have purchased these test kits. I'd like to provide just a little background on how we got here today. We've been investigating, as you know, a variety of issues related to COVID-19. Our investigators online found that these defendants were allegedly marketing non-FDA approved at-home testing kits on their website. The website advertised these non-FDA approved test kits for $39. Yet the defendants claimed that these test kits can be used to confidently screen for the presence of antibodies in the bloodstream, making it possible to detect current or recent virus infections from COVID-19. And its Twitter account, Econ's Twitter account, shared a link of a Wall Street Journal article that, and the link misleadingly stated, "Our COVID-19 test kit is now FDA approved." But that's not what the Wall Street Journal article said. Now, there are many issues surrounding COVID-19 right now on which our office is laser focused. And those include allegedly misleading statements and schemes online. They include price gouging. They include an array of other issues. And it's particularly important that our senior citizens are apprised of what could be happening to them, because they are particularly vulnerable among a very anxious public, and we need to get this right. So if you think that you might be a victim of a COVID-19 scam of any kind, be it price gouging or a misleading claim, please contact our office directly. You can contact us by email at lacityantorney.org/COVID-19. You can call us at 213-978-8070, 213-978-8070. Even in the midst of this crisis, we are prepared to take your call and to follow up on what you ask us to deal with. I want to underscore, too, that the city is offering free testing for COVID-19 to those who are eligible, and I would urge you to go online to coronavirus.lacity.org, coronavirus.lacity.org, to determine how to establish eligibility and to get a test that can be provided to you by healthcare professionals for free. I want to acknowledge our staff. Because of this crisis, I am here, but my staff members who work so diligently on this matter are not joining me. But I want to underscore the quality and skill and tirelessness of their work. Kate Keneally, Will Rivera, Christina Toussaint, William Pletcher, Rebecca Morse, Miguel Ruiz, and Car Tikoski, among many others. I also want to thank Rick Pope, who's here today from our LA Department on Disability, who is signing for us today, and the crew at LA City View, which has been just marvelous, the team who is here and allowing us to stream this press conference live today. Now, I know that we're going to be having questions. This is the first press conference I've given when the questions are not being delivered by reporters who are here. Let me say a few words in Spanish, because I believe we have Spanish language media who are on this press conference, and then I'll be happy to take questions which will be related by email, and then they'll be asked orally to me here, and I'll provide direct answers to those questions. Ahora en español. Durante esta emergencia de salud pública, mi oficina está luchando contra los estafadores, los negociantes que aumentan los precios y los negocios no esenciales que todavía está operando. También estamos sobresaliendo en varios frentes, incluida la reacción rápida de órdenes y ordenanzas de emergencia diseñadas para combatir el virus COVID-19 y sus implicaciones. Hoy anuncio un acuerdo rápido para detener las operaciones de una compañía de equipos para pruebas caseras COVID-19. Primero, seamos muy claros. No hay aprobación de la FDA para ninguna prueba casera COVID-19. Nuestro acuerdo con Yicon Global impone y imputa inmediatamente el fin de toda comercialización o venta de sus equipos de pruebas caseras COVID-19. También hemos asegurado la restitución total para los consumidores que hayan comprado uno de los equipos de Yicon. Okay, now I'm happy to take questions if they could be related to me. Rob?
The first question comes from Margaret Carrero, a reporter at KNX 1070 News Radio. Can you speak to the dangers of such unauthorized products, especially in a time when people are fearful?
Margaret, it's a great question. We know that anxiety levels are extremely high, and that's one reason we are so riveted, not merely on following up on complaints that are provided to our office by consumers, but because we are scouring affirmatively the internet. We're investigating in brick-and-mortar stores to try to protect Los Angeles residents, because what's at stake is their health and potentially their lives. If consumers misuse a product, or if consumers receive a product that is not going to work, they could easily be misled into thinking that they're healthy. They could easily transmit illnesses to others. They could easily fail to get treatment in a timely way. There are many reasons why it's essential that consumers only use authorized products and deal with health professionals, and we're going to be on the case to assure that anyone who tries to take advantage of them is brought to account.
A second question from Margaret Carrero. Are there any other companies doing the same thing that your office is looking into?
We are looking into other businesses that may be engaging in the sale of non-FDA approved home test kits. For example, just last week, we sent a cease and desist letter to one such company which promptly removed its claims from the internet and appears to have stopped the sale of its products. And again, this is because the FDA has yet to approve any home test kit for the coronavirus.
The next question comes from Ryan Carter, city editor at the Los Angeles Daily News. Mr. Feuer, does your office have any concerns that there are test kits on the market or in use among doctors or clinics or other health professionals that might be being used and they're unapproved?
So again, home test kits have not been approved by the FDA. Testing devices that are being used by health professionals, healthcare professionals in hospitals and other institutions are different and have received approvals. So let me again call on anyone who believes that they may be a victim of a scam to contact our office, and if anybody believes that there might be a test that inadvertently is in use in any medical facility, contact our office. Again, I've given the phone numbers. I'll give it again, 213-978-8070 or LA City Attorney /COVID-19.
Cecilia Bogran from Univision. Is this an isolated case, or have you seen a rising volume of companies that offer the false test kits?
So as I mentioned, this is not an isolated instance. I alluded just a moment ago to another company with which we've had communication. We've called on them to cease and desist, and they appear to have done so. We also have others under investigation.
This question is from Alex Stone at ABC News. Did this company believe they were actually performing tests for customers, or was it a complete scam with no testing being done?
So I cannot speak for the company. The company says that no kits were actually delivered. I cannot validate that. What we know the following. We know that the FDA has not approved a test for home use. We know that online this company was offering for sale a test for home use. And we know that online, at least we have alleged that they have stated misleadingly that they had attained FDA approval. So I don't know if there has been any test kit that they've sold that actually is in use. They claim none have been delivered.
This question is from Chris Van Carlo at KFI. Approximately how many COVID fraud, false marketing, scam cases is your office working right now?
So I can't sort of approximate that number in general terms, because we're looking at a number of matters, some of which are under investigation, some of which we've concluded. Let me summarize just a few examples of matters in which we've been involved, because it's a pretty wide range. Again, these are just examples. We dealt with a company which on its website was advertising vitamins, in particular vitamin C, as a preventative and perhaps a treatment for the coronavirus. We know that the FDA has said that vitamins are not going to prevent the virus, and in fact the National Institutes of Health have warned that large doses of vitamins could be detrimental. So we contacted the company, and they immediately took their claims down. It was a company that was selling vitamins on its website. We know that Jim Baker and the Jim Baker Show were advertising a product called Silver Solution, which again was designed to prevent or treat the virus. We reached out to them, as did the federal government and the state of Missouri, its attorney general. And the show took down its claims and stopped selling the product. Norwegian Cruise Lines had employees who were telling consumers that traveling to warm climates on a cruise would be a safer way to travel and might not endanger them. We contacted the cruise line. The cruise line said those claims were unauthorized and offered restitution to any customer. These are a few examples in addition to ones that I've given now. We're also looking carefully at the issue of price gouging, and I'll be making more announcements about that issue in the days to come. In addition, of course, our office is charged with enforcing the emergency order against non-essential businesses remaining open. We have to date filed 4 misdemeanor prosecutions regarding those businesses. We have, however, attained voluntary compliance from dozens of others with whom we've communicated.
Second question from Chris and Carlo at KFI. How did this company come to your attention?
Again, I'm not going to reveal all our investigative techniques, but we have been scouring the internet, looking for claims which may be false or misleading, calling on companies to substantiate those claims, and if they can't, asking them to cease and desist. And if that doesn't happen, as in this case, we reached a stipulated judgment.
This question is from Ed Fulvin, editor at the Park La Brea News Beverly Press. Is it known how many of these tests have been sold or how many people may have used one or have one in their possession?
We do not know how many tests have been sold. We'll be monitoring that issue because the company, as I mentioned, is required to provide restitution to its consumers. The company claims that no test was actually delivered. I can't verify that one way or the other.
And this question is from NPR at Tom Driesbach. What cooperation has your office had with the FDA?
So we have, I'm not going to discuss in detail except to say that we have been very closely monitoring the FDA's representations. We want to assure that any product that's sold is compliant with the FDA's rules and regulations. We do know, of course, this is a very dynamic situation and that it may be that in the days to come, the FDA, which is, as I mentioned, evaluating the potential use of home test kits, it may be one day that the FDA validates the performance of a home test kit. When that day comes, of course, it will be a very positive development for all of us. But in the meantime, we're closely monitoring and working with the FDA to assure that we are aware of its current guidelines, and its current guidelines are very clear. There is no authorized home test kit.
Regarding non-essential businesses operating during the mayor's emergency order, we have a question from Stephanie Dazio at the Associated Press to elaborate more on our plans, our efforts, while we're pursuing charges against businesses that are violating the order.
So let me describe our process a little bit. We have a very robust neighborhood prosecutor team. Because of the current crisis, their efforts have been redirected to assuring that the mayor's emergency order regarding non-essential businesses is enforced. This is crucial for all of us. I want to underscore for all the residents of Los Angeles, we owe at this crucial moment key duties and responsibilities to each other. We need each other to abide by these rules. The city's future depends on each of us abiding by these rules, and no non-essential business should be an exception to that rule. So our neighborhood prosecutors, in the first instance, are reaching out to educate businesses which are alleged to remain open even if they're non-essential, and that process has resulted in dozens of businesses closing down, complying with the order. When a business does not immediately comply after that outreach, LAPD goes to the scene and warns the business. If the business, notwithstanding the warnings, remains open, then further action is going to ensue. As you saw, we've already filed 4 such misdemeanor prosecutions. There may be further steps taken, including the shutoff of water and power if facilities, if businesses remain open. But I hope it doesn't come to that, because I hope that the businesses with whom we're in communication, the businesses throughout the city, realize that they have obligations to comply, and those obligations could lead to us either flattening the curve or not. Every business and every resident of our city ought to be complying with the rules so we can get past this emergency as soon as possible. Thank you very much for bearing with this unusual way to have a press conference, but the information is crucial. I appreciate your time.